Hey, welcome everyone to the very first Mystics Outlook of the 2025 season. We got Raymond Lyons here, Cardell Dudley Jr., and Wilson Turpin Jr. The Washington Mystics opened their preseason by visiting the Indiana Fever. They fell 79-74 to the Fever in OT. No Caitlin Clark for the Fever. For the Mystics, for different reasons, they were missing several players as well. Georgia Moore, Shakira Austin, Aaliyah Edwards. That said, before I ask you guys, I thought Washington did a decent job on the boards. I can't wait to hear what you guys have to say about the turnovers. But Ray, we'll start with you then, Cardell. What did you guys take away from the very first action of preseason? Obviously, super small sample size, but
yeah, it was good to get an early look at them. Like you said, they did decent on the boards and defensively as well. But also, turnovers can negate all that if that problem is exacerbated too much. And yeah, they were a little loose with the ball. They coughed it up 22 times. It's hard to win like that, especially when you're not shooting well. So yeah, just some things to clean up. But they did see some positives. Had some good ball movement early. They seemed to be in sync and kind of had good chemistry. But just kind of as the game went on and different lineups went in and out, they got a little sloppy with the ball and had some raggedy possessions, especially down the stretch that cost them. But the rookies look good. Kiki, she came in and kind of did what she does. Still we know she's a polished player. Was able to show some footwork in the post. She got in and mixed it up under the rim, offense and defense. Sonya, we saw her turn down the open shot early, but after that, somebody must have gotten her ear and said, "You can shoot the ball, so you gotta let that thing go." She was able to knock down a few. So yeah, man, it's decent showing for the first preseason game. I'm sure they'll, as they go along and get more practice time in, they'll start to gel a little more. But yeah, just definitely got to clean those turnovers up. That's we've seen the Mystics deal with that and for the last couple seasons and yeah, it'll cost you some games, man. So just gotta be a little more disciplined with decision making. But yeah, overall not too bad. Like you said, it's just the first preseason outing, and they were missing a couple of folks. So just kind of excited to see what this team can turn into.
Cardell, your first impression?
Yeah, about what you would expect from the first preseason game. Sloppy play from both sides as both teams try to build chemistry with added pieces, rookies fighting for jobs, new coaches. That's the main thing. Trying to learn the system, trying to execute the system, strategy on the defensive end against other teams. Not against each other in practice. For the Mystics, obviously they start the preseason out on the road. That's different. You know what I mean? But it's about what you would expect. I felt like I like the tempo of the Mystics. They're playing more catering to their guards. They got bigs that can get up and down. Steph can still get up and down, but the vets know how to play with her. They know when to keep it moving or when to slow it up to maximize what she brings to the table. Plus, she can shoot the three ball now later in her career. So she's a hell of a threat trailing the play. So it fits into them still running. You know what I mean? But I thought Brittany Sykes came out like game busters, set the tone, did her thing. Dolson as well. Ainsley gave him some good minutes. Citron right away. There's a reason why she was drafted as high as she did. And not even just on offense, making shots or whatnot. I love what she did defensively. She was help side. Was very good on ball. She got beat a couple times, but that's to be expected from a rookie, man. But help side, being physical, and that's what you saw in college. That's the thing about college. You want to see if what they did in college will translate into what they're doing in the pros. And so far so good, man. She was very physical. Like in college, she could be physical. She's not afraid to, stick her body in there and take the contact, fight through screens, fight over screens. She gets switched on the big bang, do whatever she need to do to get the stop. She's competitive. She got a lot of heart, and she displayed that in this game, man. So, like Ray said, after she kind of was hesitant on that first shot, once she settled in, all right, man, it's basketball. They playing basketball just like me, and she got to it. So I'm eager to see how she continues to, build and build. Iria fan, she did her thing for the most part. 7-5. Got a little chippy plays in there, you know what I mean? She got to shoot better, but that comes with time. For the bigs, it's always harder for them to get acclimated to the speed of the game, especially at the WNBA. And then the physicality on top of that. And then, trying to figure each other out where her spots are against this level of talent. Now, college, she knew what to do, but right now she got to figure that out. And then that's going to take time, man. Also, like I agree with y'all overall. First game, Mystics played pretty good defense, but they got to defend without putting them on the line, man. They was fouling a lot. That's pretty much how they lost the game. When Indiana was 27-28 from the free throw line. I know about 5 of that probably came to overtime. I get it. With the players that's fighting for a job outside Lexi Ho, who ran point late in overtime, but still, you got to be able to defend without fouling. I'm gonna let first game. I'm not gonna jump too much on that, but that is something I'm gonna keep an eye on as preseason progresses, because with their tempo, with them running, teams gonna try to run back on them because of the numbers game, and they got to be able to get back. And if you're not getting back, or if you're getting tired, what you start to do, you defend with your hands, and that could be bad business. You know what I mean? For the Mystics, because that could put you in a bonus super early, get a team extra points, and then you constantly fighting the uphill battle, man. So we're gonna see how they adapt to that, especially against the top tier teams we know gonna be there at the end with bigs that can do everything, like the New York Liberties and the Aces and all that stuff like that. So we're gonna see the ball and all, man. About what you expect. Wish they could have pulled out the win. Some of them ladies that's trying to fight to make the team, they better step it up. Overtime was looking kind of crazy, man. They was looking. I ain't gonna say her name. One girl. I ain't gonna say her name. One lady turned the ball over and jogged back, and one of her teammates cut the fever guard off. I'm not gonna say no names because I don't want to expose her. I know the coach is gonna see it. Cut her man off, and she caught up, but instead of trying to fight to get back in front of her to maybe make a play on the ball, she pulled up like that. I'm like, what is that? What the hell is that? Like, nah, fight to get around. Like, that's the type of plays that get you cut. You know what I'm saying? Especially in this league. So, yeah, man. First preseason game, but we all know in the W is ruthless. You only got so many opportunities to show what you can do. And especially the young lady, she's a guard, wing. They're pretty loaded at that position. So you're fighting for a job as is, man. So you got to give everything you got, man. Hell, I might have damn near fouled her hard or something, man. You just prevent the bucket, man. Just show effort and stuff. You can't be pulling up like that after you turn the ball over. You're the reason why we hustling back. But that's just one little play. But like I said, I'm not gonna overreact at the one preseason game. Just eager to see how they improve for the next one.
Yeah, pretty much agree with everything. I'm in line with what you guys are saying. Cardell, one of the point I just wanted to touch on was the pace. I was interested in seeing that too. Heard about it. The fatigue part of that is going to be so interesting going forward because, like you guys just mentioned, 28 free throws. That fatigue and always run it plays a role on that end. So again, first preseason game means the condition has to be top notch if you want to play at that pace. That said, I don't expect it to be, like you said, 2 new coaches, what have you, new system. I don't expect it to be, like mid-season form right now. Just something to keep an eye on. Yeah, Citron, I thought she did a good job just playing her game, letting the game come to her the entire time. As you said, Ray, had that one thing, was like, should have shot that after that. Cool. It's exactly what you expect for where you took her at, right? Nice little return on your investment. First game, super efficient. Thoroughly enjoyed that. I I thought you guys mentioned Kiki. Saw a little bit from Kiki and Lucy, maybe not offensively to that degree, but I appreciated the youngsters on defense for the most part in this one. I like the fact that none of them seemed like they had an issue or being willing to be physical. Yeah, you're going to get pushed around a little bit. It's the W. You are at a deficit in that department to start with, but I appreciated their willingness to, not shy away from it. That said, Doug Dame, I see your comments. We're going to get to them in just a minute. So appreciate you for that. Who'd you guys have? I'm sorry. For the Fever side, Aaliyah Boston looks to be in great shape. Love that she started the game with that corner three. And I'm interested to see what they end up looking like, 10, 15 games in. Obviously, we know who wasn't on the floor tonight with them. But, yeah, Cardell, like you said, Sophie Cunningham should not have 8 free throws if you're doing your job the way that she plays. Being honest, not knocking Sophie Cunningham. But, again, just saying, if she has 8 free throws, you do
She did the W, man.
Thank you. Like, you're doing something wrong. Of all the people on the team that sent to the line, it should have been her. But again, it's preseason. Keep it moving. Because outside of that, when the game swung in the second quarter, because you put on the line, that's kind of crazy. But again, play the game. I'm mind my business.
I mean,
the aforementioned.
You gotta go with Sophie. 21, 8, and 2, 6, 11, 7, 8. She's very she's a chippy player. Let's call it that, man. Like it's like every time I see her, she's in a skirmish or she fighting. Like, but I'd rather have it that way than her just backing down, getting punked, and otherwise she wouldn't be in the league, man. Not like she doesn't have talent. I'm just saying, like, you backing down, no team gonna have use of it. Like, yeah, the W don't play that, man. Them ladies, they don't play games. So, but yeah, she's an irritant, man. And if you're not mentally ready to play against that, she can take you out your game. And then it's even worse when she hitting shots and she making plays on top of that. So it's like, because normally if it's somebody doing that and they can't play, you just like, all right, man, I ain't even paying you no mind. I know what you about to do. But when they irritate you and they making plays and hitting shots and stuff like that, it gets annoying real quick. You know what I'm saying? and that's what you're saying, man. But yeah, no doubt, man. She made an impact, especially to kind of get them back in it. When after Washington built that big first quarter lead, man, and her chippiness on the defensive end and her shot making offense was a big part of that.
Ray, did you have anything to add as far as Sophie goes for the game?
No, I mean, yeah, like Cardell pointed out, she just did a good job of really mucking the game up because, initially the Mystics, they were in the groove, man. That first quarter, their offense was working. They were finding each other, getting quality looks. Then when she kind of started doing her thing, the game just got a little chippy, and I think they started to feed into that a little bit, and the Fever took advantage.
Yeah, it was hilarious on the, I guess on the Fever broadcast on NBA TV or whatever. They were like, "This is one of those things, folks, where we're gonna have to learn that Sophie's not always innocent." And I laughed for like 15 minutes, and also respected the honesty because just that's hilarious. But yeah, shout out to her. She knows her value. We saw it full display in this game. X factor in this one.
I'm going with Aaliyah. You know what I mean? 7 and 8, 3 assists, 2 steals, 2 blocks, 3 of 7, 26 minutes. She complete floor game in about a half of action. So, not 2.5 quarters to be exact, but yeah, you could tell she just filling her teammates out and all that. So yeah, you could tell she's trying to take that next step that she didn't quite take last year. And be up there. As one of the top bigs in the league. Like, if you're a Fever fan, this was definitely one of them, performances. Even though it's preseason, where it lets you know, all right, she's ready to go. You know what I mean? I think having Caitlin come in and play her style and then her having to understand how to blend her talent to match what Caitlin brings was a big part of that. Like, that's all she's, all right, I got to get in tip-top shape. I can't come in here, lacking.
Right.
Yeah, I agree, man. Like y'all both pointed out, that's the main thing I noticed, especially compared to the beginning of last season, her conditioning, and she was just not going through the motions, but it looked easy. Like when she was playing today, she was making good reads, and then when she saw the opportunity, she went ahead and scored or whatever. But yeah, man, she looked good. I cannot wait to see what it looked like when she's on full speed because we know what she's capable of. For her being able to start the season and in the physical condition she's in right now is it might get ugly.
All right. We're gonna go ahead and get to these comments from Doug Dame. Again, appreciate you, man. Indiana being excited for winning an overtime game against players that won't even, won't even make the roster. While you got multi-year vets, that's gonna play is crazy.
But you also gotta understand, man. A couple of those ladies are, well, three of them. One is a second-year player, and the other two are rookies. Of course, they're gonna be excited. It was tie game. Coach said go in there and win it overtime. They made plays to win it, man. I'll be excited too. It's your first WNBA game, and coach, and then you fighting for a spot. Like Kayla Thompson, Von Ijum, and Jayla Brown. I know she played last year with the Wings, but still, you know what I mean. Like they trying to hold on to a job, man. So when you win, it helps your cause. When you lose in these situations, it tells the coach like, hey, man, look, you had your opportunity. You didn't seize it. We got to go with what we feel we're more comfortable with, what we believe in more, the players we believe in. You know what I'm saying? So, because think about it. If Caitlin, Bree Hall, Dantas played, them ladies not even getting in the game. You know what I mean? No disrespect. So, unless somebody getting injured. So, you're trying to secure a job, man, you should be excited, man. I don't knock enthusiasm. It'd have been different. They went on the Mystic side, like, yeah, man, and just talking trash, and you know what I'm saying? Like, that's outrageous, but they didn't do all that, man. There's nothing wrong with showing some excitement for winning, for pulling out a hard-fought victory.
Right? You had anything to
add? Yeah, that's the one thing I meant to mention earlier. This didn't feel like a preseason game, man. They were getting to it. And yeah, I'd much rather that than an alternative. So yeah, man, I like the tone of the game for both teams. They were competing at a high level, and yeah, I got no issue with somebody being happy about having a successful first outing.
Yeah, my only little 2 cents is they got polar opposite rosters. You got a team with, like as you mentioned, championship aspirations. They only have but so many young players. Washington, on the other hand, you got Slim, you got Dolson, and youth. It's youth. But again, we appreciate you tuning in. Look forward to more comments as we go forward. Washington has a home preseason game this week. But for Cardell, Ray, and myself, y'all have a great weekend.